Hi and welcome to another yoga flow with Mimi. With this beautiful scenery in Mallorca, we had the privilege to hold a Mimi yoga retreat there together with Shishi retreats, and it was just stunning and beautiful, and I felt like I have to make another YouTube video here as well. So today's class will be backbends. It can be pretty intense, so make sure that you stay with yourself in your own practice and you're not overdoing it. You always can rest in child pose or do whatever feels for you to adjust the flow. Start on your heels and then arrive. First thing, start to point your feelers to the inside world of yourself and start to calm everything down. Calm down your inside world, and with this, let go of the outside world. Interlace your fingers. With the palms facing up, draw the hands up to your chin. With an exhale, push the palms of your hands away around your spine. Draw the shoulder blades apart. Inhale, reach for the sky. Relax your shoulders as you do so. And then release your fingers. Bring them behind your back. Interlace your fingers here again. And then draw your knuckles down to your feet. Lift your heart up towards the sky. Let it go again. Exhale. And then with an inhale, bring the palms over your head together and drop the thumbs in your neck and reach up towards the sky with your chest and your elbows. Inhale as you do so. Exhale, release. We do the same mantra again. Breathing mantra. Inhale, bring the palms up towards your chin. Exhale, round your spine. Push the palms away from you. Inhale, create that beautiful length for your spine again, reaching for the sky, feeling the skin in your face maybe. Exhale, release. Bring your fingertips together. Interlace your fingers. Draw the fingers down as you reach up towards the sky. Let go. Exhale. Palms together over your head. Drop the thumbs into your neck. And then make your elbows pointing up as you lift your heart up towards the sky. Exhale, let go. We're going to find that mantra through the flow. So just to get back to our breathing as well. From here, lift now your hips up on top of your knees. You can tuck the toes under as well, so you create a little heel here to reach for your heels. And then put one arm on top of your heel as you come into half camel pose. Circling the whole torso around, big movement, and then come on the other side. Glutes are engaged, hips are pushing forward as you circle around your center, with the heart always reaching for the sky in the end of the movement. Finish your side and then come back on your heels. And from there on all fours, with your hands underneath your shoulders and the knees underneath your hips. Let's do some cat-cow stretches. With an inhale, lift the tailbone and the ground of the head. With an exhale, starting at the tailbone again, send that wave through your spine and come into cat stretch. Inhale, cow. Exhale, feel each vertebrae moving here by itself, coming into cat stretch. Then tuck your toes under. Push through your hands and lift the knees away from the mat. The spine can be rounded. Awareness is to the inside. And then come back into an all fours position, this time with the fingertips tips pointing towards your knees. Let's do another round of cat-cow and feel the difference from just changing the position of your hands, how it changing the whole movement. And then with that, maybe notice where you're holding tension, where you can let go of a bit more tension. Exhale, round your spine, draw your chin to your chest. Inhale, release. Tuck your toes under once more. Bring your hands in a normal neutral position again and come into that child pose with your knees slightly lifted. From here, find your way up into downward facing dog. First down dog, as always, feel free to pedal your feet. Lengthen through your spine. And then send that wave again through your spine and find your plank position. Core is engaged. Lift your sit bones up towards the sky. Exhale, downward facing dog. We release our down dog. We walk to the front of the mat. And be mindful here with your steps. Find the mat underneath your heels, underneath the ball of your feet. The very end, fold and float over your legs. Inhale, reach behind you, around you, bring the palms up, find a standing position. Hands in front of your heart space, Samastihiti. Place your hands on each side of your hips, finding Tadasana Mountain Pose. Reach down with your right arm to your heel, over the side, all the way over to your left, and come into a nice lateral side stretch. Feel how you open that right lateral side, breathing into that gate. Allow your right shoulder to collapse to the front, and from there come back up straight, nice and tall. Now your left arm, reach down to your heel, and then with the palms facing up like you're offering something, come into side bend over to your right side, breathing now into the left. Create some space here. Allow your shoulder to collapse forward, come back to the center, and then roll your shoulders back and down and lift your head back up straight. Inhale, bring your arms over your head. Exhale, open your arms to the side, and then maybe going along the back side of your legs, find your forward fold here, making it a bit more intense and bit more caring. Step back with your right leg. Inhale, create length through your spine. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feel free to keep your legs bent whenever you want, or maybe all time through. Inhale, your plank. Exhale, drop your knees, chest chin follows. From there, snake yourself into baby cobra. Only lift as high as you can go without pushing through your hands. No lines on your forehead. And then halfway drop, use your knees to come back in, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg comes up. With an exhale, take your time, like moving through honey. Step between your hands. Drop your left knee down, left long toes. Inhale, reach for the sky. Stay engaged through your core as you do so. Open your arms to the side, interlacing the fingers behind your sacrum. Reach down to your knee with your fingers, maybe lifting the heart up towards the sky. Back bending. Let go. Place your hands on the inside of your right leg. Flip your left shin and then come into a side plank. Reach again to the opposite side, creating that space for your side, and then come up into a kneeling position. From there, come now over to your right side. Inhaling deep. Collapsing, turning, circling around your center again, and then find that half camel pose again with your right leg extended out to the side. Release, come back, a big circle around, this time to the front. Bring your left leg with you, get active through your left leg, bend it, and then step with control to the front. Float over your legs. Inhale, reach with your fingertips behind you, flat back with the ground, reaching to the front and then up towards the sky. Find your Samastihiti, hands in front of your heart. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, open your arms wide. Find your forward fold. Step back with your left leg, create length from the heel all the way up to the ground, to the top of your head. Without dragging the foot along the mat, find your downward facing dog. Lift the heels away from the floor, send that wave through your spine, come into a plank position. Knees, chest, chin, low plank. Modification. Inhale, baby cobra. Make sure you create that space between ears and shoulders. Halfway drop, use your knees, engage your core, and then come back up into downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up, take a deep breath in. Exhale, draw the knee into your chest first, then it's easier to step between the hands. Long right foot, inhale, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, open your arms behind your sacrum. Interlace your fingers. Inhale, grow higher without losing the length in your spine. Reach up with your chest, with your heart towards the sky. Release, let go. Place your hands on the inside again. Flip your right shin. Walk to the end of the mat. Hand is aligned with your knee, and then create that length from your left foot all the way up to your fingertips. Come on your right fingertips and then use your core to come straight up. Coming into side gate stretch on the other side. Breathing into that right part. Collapsing to the front, circling around your center. Find the heel behind you with your right hand. And then lean back, come into half camel pose. Don't forget to breathe here. Release by circling back to the front, and then from there frame your left foot. Get active in your right foot. Bending the right foot, stepping to the front with control. Forward fold. Listen to the inside. Flat back. Circle your arms back and around overhead. Palms together. Hands in front of your heart. Samastihiti. Inhale, bring your arms up. Long stretch. Exhale, open your arms to the side. Fold over your legs. Head is heavy. Step back with your right leg. Create length in. Downward facing dog. Exhale out. Wave through your body. Inhale. High plank. Exhale. Drop your knees. Long toes here. And then walk with your hands out and in front of you and find extended puppy pose. Try to keep your hips on top of your knees as you do so. And you can start with the forehead down. Maybe with the chest still up in the air as well. And then find softness here and melt further down. When you find yourself being soft and softer, then feel free to look to the front between your hands. Still breathing all the time up into your pelvis, into your belly. Being mindful with your lower back. And then release by engaging the core, rounding the spine. Walk your hands back in. Tuck your toes under. Lift your sitting bones up towards the sky. Create that length again. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step between your hands. Left knee comes down. Long toes on your left leg. And then reach with your right arm up to the front. Circle over your head like you're drawing a rainbow. Reaching behind you. Allow now your right knee to drop away from you. Maybe even coming on the outside plate of that right foot. And then bring that right arm behind you like you're creating a nice soft pillow for your head. And then lean into that. And make this a backbend, a heart open as well. Allow your chest to shine up towards the sky. Always supporting your head with that forearm. Breathe into that. Feel it. Trust yourself and go for it. Get then out of it actively. Left knee away, balance, and then lift your right leg up and come into wild things, stepping that right leg over onto the opposite side of the mat. Release, find your core, and then with control come back. Maybe you have to do some steps in between, and that's totally fine. Inhale, high lunge, crescent lunge. Exhale, step to the front, create length. Maybe calming your pulse and your heartbeat here again. Tadasana, hands beside your hips. Check in with yourself. Bring now your hands in your lower back. You have a few options here. You can either bring the thumbs to your SI joint, fingertips up or fingertips down. Fingertips up is probably the most challenging position. You can always go a step back. From there, squeeze your glutes, push your hips to the front, and then without crunching your spine too much, lean back into your back bend. But always think about lifting the chest up towards the sky more than back bending. That always helps to protect your lower back. Also, never forget to breathe. Release here, and then come into a forward fold straight away. Maybe again with bringing the hands along the backside of your legs, just to lengthen here and to give yourself a little TLC back. Step back with your right leg. Inhale. Exhale, come into downward facing dog. You can rest here, drop down in child pose, or you flow through another vinyasa. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, maybe low plank without knees, Chaturanga Dandasana. And then from there, rest all the way down. come onto your belly. Start with the left leg, lift it, and then come into a bind here. You can either hold your toes or maybe your ankle if it's available for you. Then bring your right leg in as well and make sure that your knees are still aligned with your hips. Whenever you're in that position, start to kick into your hands and feel how your chest is getting lifted higher and higher. Still with a nice, gentle, deep breath. And with the ears away, or the shoulders away from your ears. And then release, come down, have a rest, build a pillow with your hands. Heels are facing, toes are turned to the outside. Resting asanas are just as important as the moving a bit harder asanas. Take that moment and be present. Hands back beside your rib cage, and then press yourself up, coming into plank. From here into downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up, take a deep breath in. Exhale, step between your hands. Drop your right knee down, right long toes, left arms reaching to the front. Draw that rainbow over your head, reaching now for your back heel. And then allow your left leg to drop to the outside. You can even walk to the outside edge of the mat. Drop the knee to the outside. Make sure that the knee always points the same way as your toes though. And then create that nice pillow again for your head with your left arm and lean into it. It's like a back bend as well, like a cobra. Your heart is seeking the sun. Release, slowly get out of it. Get active through your right leg. And then again, with control, lift that left leg up and then step it over and behind you, finding your wide thing. You can do steps in between, but maybe challenge yourself and try to make it with control and slowly. Inhale in your wide thing, and then with exhale and control again, try to bring that left leg all the way to the front. Maybe it's a bit wobbly, that's all right. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, come back into standing position. And have a tiny moment rest here. From here we're gonna go into another back bend. So you can still stick with the same variation you had in the first round with your thumbs or the fingertips facing down. If you feel warmed up and good and strong today, maybe try to come into that back bend with your hands in front of your heart first. Still pushing with the hips to the front, having the glutes engaged. And then when you're in your lowest, furthest point, lift with your fingertips behind you. Be mindful and remember you have to have some strength left to get out of it with control instead of just bouncing out of it. After that, well-deserved forward fold. Creating that space again for your spine. Step back with your left leg. Inhale, length. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Bend your knees, look between your hands, and then hop to the front of the mat with the feet on the outside of your hands, so you can easily sit down, or you find freestyle way to come into seated position. 90 degrees in your knees, and then interlace your fingers here as well, holding with one hand on top the fingertips of the other, and then pull your hands apart as far as you can go here and feel how that creates space between your shoulder blades. You don't see it from the outside. Release now your left arm, bring your hips up towards the sky and reach with your right arm behind you. Come back into a seated position. Now bring the other hand on top. Again, locking your fingers into each other, and then pull your hands apart like you want to rip them apart. But you're holding on that tight that it won't happen. With that, you create space for the backside. Now the right hand behind you. Lift the hips up high. Bring that left hand behind you. Sit back down. Let's circle around straight away once more. Inhale, create space. And you see how I'm working my way into the wheel pose here. This will be one step after time. You don't have to do it. You just can stick with this variation where you circle around yourself. But if you want to go for it, maybe place now that right hand down. Turn your left hand back in. And then lift that left arm up and come back into seated position. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Right arm down. Create that length for your spine first. Then place your left hand in and down. And then change out of your wheel pose. Opposite way. Well done. Have a rest in your cosmic egg here. Drawing attention to the inside. And then come onto your spine, rolling down. Draw the knees into your chest. Rock a little bit from left to the right, to the left, to release the tension in your lower back. Step your feet back down on the floor, hands beside your hips. Lift the head up and away from the floor once more to create length for the back part of your neck. And then come up into shoulder bridge here. At the very end, maybe walk your shoulder blades together. Press the tricep into the floor and let the bicep shine up towards the sky, interlacing your fingers, pushing the pinkies down into the ground. Breathing into, this is an inversion as well already. Enjoy that rush. Enjoy how the heartbeat is slowing down. Release your hands, roll back down, come onto your spine. Step your feet mud width apart and then allow your knees to drop into each other. Breathing into your hips, allowing that energy to flow down towards your hips easily. Second round, feel free to come into another round of your shoulder bridge, or if you want to go into wheel pose, do it now. Fingertips facing your shoulders, elbows pointing up towards the sky, thumbs towards your ear. Can do that middle step where you put the ground, head of your ground down on the floor. And then from there, lift yourself up, pushing yourself into the wheel pose. Try to have your feet parallel, creating length in your spine, tucking the tailbone under, and then internal rotate your thighs as well. Slowly release, come back down onto your spine, bring your knees into your chest, rocking from side to side. How do you feel? How are you? Lift the head up and away from the floor and reach with your fingers down to the outside edge of your feet to come into happy baby pose. Another beautiful finisher for hips and lower back. Just make sure that your sacrum is connected with the floor as you do so. And then play around here a little bit as well and rock from side to side, maybe extending the top leg out towards the sky. There are no rules, no wrong, just whatever feels good for you. Let go of your feet, place the bottom of your feet together. And then when you're ready for it, find your Shavasana. With your hands resting beside your hips. Let go of any tension you're holding. And allow yourself to sink heavy, even heavier back into the ground. Let go of a forced breathing. Come back to neutral breathing. And then go on that journey. Wherever you're taken, enjoy. Feel free to stay longer in your Shavasana as well. To give yourself the rest you really deserve. Whenever you're ready, walk your feet in. Roll to the side and then come up into a seated position once more. But like I said, feel free to stay longer there. Close your eyes. Allow your spine to be long once more. Hands in front of your heart. Thank you so much for your time and for practicing with me. Namaste.